Would you call yourself a director?
No. Because it's the people who I pick usually direct the movie themselves.
What do you do? Watch?
Yes. I get my thrills that way.
What would the reaction be to a critic or a person who went to one of your films and just said, rubbish, trite nonsense, boring, etc.?
Yeah, well, that's the way we feel about it.
You really do. You're not putting me on.
Say the analogy of, say, a painter who paints a tree, a landscape, or even a bowl of fruit. I'm sure that the painter is not a bit interested in the apples for themselves alone, but in the technique of his work, which stimulates the emotion of the viewer of his picture. After all art is experience. People look at an abstract and say, I hate it. Well, the mere fact that they're using the word hate means that they're going through an experience, you see, and or they like it. Therefore, if you apply these principles to film, as I see it, it is not the pure manner of the content. In other words, it's not the story. It's what you do with it.
Not what, but how.
How?
I believe designers are social mediators. We have the responsibility of promoting equality, justice, and sustainability within modern culture. It is key for a designer to connect with humanity and address the needs of the people, all people. A designer can't just design for one. Accessibility and democracy is the backbone of design. As Adrian Forty says in Design Studies a Reader, no design works unless it embodies ideas that are held in common by the people for whom the object is intended. To represent design purely as the creative acts of individuals temporarily enhances the importance of designers, but ultimately only degrades design by severing it from its part in the workings of society.
I believe we should be humbled by nature, and that our designs should be considerate and sustainable. I think each designer should develop a style based on precedent and functionability, and should embrace technology to make high-class design attainable for all of society. In the Design Studies a Reader, McDonald and Brought's essay in Chapter 6 on sustainability, they state that modern industries still operate according to paradigms that developed when humans had a very different sense of world. I think designers should take responsibility for opening society's eyes to the changing world and how we must adapt to stay on trend and ultimately provide creative solutions to the world's problems.
As designers, I feel that we should have a respect for our societal and historical past and learn from our mistakes and accomplishments, while at the same time stay innovative and constantly be setting new precedents. We also should strive for sustainability, not only in materials, but in our culture as well. I believe heavily in human interaction and the reaction and impression viewers or audiences receive. Irving Goffman states in the Design a Reader, when an individual appears before others, he will have many motives for trying to control the impression they receive of the situation. I feel this idea of human connection is very important to the betterment of our society.
Communication is an important design value to me, to which I can credit my interest in graphic design. One can appreciate the importance of communication when reading Douglas and Isherwood's quote in section 4.3 of Design Studies a Reader. Human relationships to designed objects are a process of communication, with the objects themselves and with one another symbolically and also literally. This leads to other important design values such as equality, ethics, and technology. I believe designers should keep these values in mind while creating sustainable designs that respect and keep up with our ever-changing world.